Vancouver, a new study by two Environment Canada scientists based in BC shows global carbon dioxide emissions from wildfires declined in the last 90 years as populations grew. Canada, however, hasn't experienced the same trend. The study was published in the journal Nature Communications this week. It found that as populations grew and densified, there was a greater effort to suppress wildfires and more land was fragmented, making it harder for fires to spread. As a result, both the total area burned and carbon dioxide emissions from wildfires declined. Overall, the study found that the decreased emissions from wildfires are responsible for about 20% of the current carbon uptake by land. With wildfires burning less area than they used to, they are producing lower emissions and enhancing the capacity of soil and vegetation to absorb CO2, explained Vivek Arora, the lead author. The study also tests the climate model Environment Canada uses to project the effects of climate change, he added. Only if you have enough confidence in your model for the present day, can you use it as a tool to go into the future to ask different kinds of questions. The study is pretty robust, said Merit Turetsky, a professor at the University of Guelph and a Canada research chair who studies the ecological processes that affect climate. She noted it confirms the results of a recent NASA-funded study that also found a decline in global fire area. Zooming in for a regional view, however, may offer a different picture. We actually saw in some places of Canada much higher levels of fire activity because of climate change, Turetsky said. For BC, 2017 was the worst forest fire year on record, said David Karn, a Ministry of Environment and Climate Change spokesperson in a statement. It's estimated that wildfires burned more than 1.2 million hectares of land last year, emitting the equivalent of roughly 150 to 200 megatons of carbon dioxide. That's more than double the level of emissions BC reported in 2015 that were directly related to human activity, such as transportation or industry. Given the significant emissions from wildfires, Jens Wieding, a senior forest and climate campaigner with the Sierra Club BC, said he'd like to see a more fulsome report that focuses on forest emissions from logging, fires and insect infestations to help inform forest management. We have to accept that some of these emissions are difficult to control. Insects and fires are two examples, but we still have very significant opportunities to reduce emissions from destructive logging, and we can mitigate emissions from fire and insects by improving forest management in the long term, he said. The ministry, though, said it is not considering such a report, noting the government already includes estimates of forest fire emissions in its provincial greenhouse gas emission inventory. One thing is certain, said Turetsky, humans are really messing with the fire cycle, whether that's through climate change, which is leading to more severe wildfires in places like Canada, or active fire suppression. While fire suppression and land use change may have reduced emissions from wildfires, she cautioned that's not always a good thing. Not only can fire suppression ultimately lead to more severe fires, it can also lead to unintended consequences for the natural environment, she said. Fire is critical to the way natural ecosystems work.